Hello, so today I'm going to show you how to do some simple makeup, and I'm going to do it in readiness for Valentine's Day. So first off, to make sure that your foundation, if you're going to put it on, sticks to your face, I suggest you use a good moisturiser. So you can use one that has sort of like priming properties to it, and this Prep and Perfect by Primark is a really good one, and as you can see, it's a pretty low price, so it does both at the same time. So make sure you put that all over your face, massage it into your neck as well, and let it sink in for about 5 minutes. Maybe brush your hair or something, and then we'll get into the foundation. I'm just going to use this one today. It's really good full coverage. So what I like to do is put it on the back of my hand, or I have a palette, but for beginners, back of the hand. If you are starting out and you don't really have many brushes or sponges, you can use your fingers and this will melt it into the skin nicely. However, I'm going to show you how to use a brush. So you need a dense brush like this one that's really packed together, and you dab it into the foundation that's either on the back of your hand, and you just lightly start dabbing this into your face. Because I've used a full coverage foundation, I brought it up under my eyes, and today, just for simplicity, we're not going to use concealer, and is generally a step you can reduce from your routine for ease, and if you just don't want to buy another product, especially if your foundation is full coverage. So powders are the easiest thing to use when doing bronzer, blush and highlight, and if you're kind of just starting out, I really recommend a palette like this, which has one of each in. So for the bronzer slash contour, I'm going to take a big fluffy brush into this brown shade. This one's matte, but you can go with the shiny, and just sort of from where the ear and the hairline meets, and brush down slightly but not all the way towards your mouth. You can do a bit on the forehead, and then I like to really go ham on the double chin. You can then use the same brush if you want for the blusher, and there's lots of different places for blusher, but the best placement for most people is the apple of the cheek, sort of just directly below the center of your eye and outwards slightly. So a big brush like this helps to keep the blush down to a minimum and look more natural. If you wanted a more concentrated look as well, I would suggest having a sort of slightly thinner fluffy brush. And then for the highlighter, I'm just going to take my middle finger. And I'm going to go on my cheekbone. So if you can actually feel for the bone, it's the first bone underneath your eye. And just lightly go up and down in that spot, because that's just naturally where the light hits your face. And then if you want, you can also go down the center of the nose and the tip of the nose as well. And let's do the Cupid's bow. Now, if I'm doing simple makeup, I usually don't do my eyebrows because they're really big and fluffy. However, I know not everyone is quite as gifted as I am in the eyebrow department. So I suggest having a small, preferably angled brush, and you can go back into your bronzer or contour shade and just lightly fill in the gaps. So next we're going to do eyes, and e.l.f. is a really good brand that's reasonably priced as well. That does, well, nearly all their products are pretty good and I've had no complaints. Eyeshadow, you can get these little like £4 ones, and they all go together really nicely. I've got this like pink one and it's called Very Bad, and these retail for about £4, I believe, so they're really good for a beginner. I suggest you invest in a good blending eyeshadow brush. One that's like this, where it's sort of rounded but a little bit flat near the bottom, not one that's rounded all over, and that's just because you can sort of do blending and kind of do a bit more precise moves with it as well. I'm going to take lighter shade, so I'm going to take this one on the end and I'm going to put this all over my eyelid, and you can use the lid just to tap off any excess off your brush. And then I'm going to go into this pink berry shade. Again, tap it off. And I'm just going to bring this into the corner and slightly arch it round the edge of the lid as well. You can, if you'd like, also bring it out slightly, just from the bottom of your eye up, and then match the top of the lid, and this just gives it a bit of a triangle on the side. So I'm going to do the other eye and come back. So we could leave it there, but because we're doing a Valentine's look, I thought we would add some glitter. Again, this is e.l.f. and this doesn't have a shade name on it, but it's just like this really cute sparkly white glitter with pink and blue reflect. Now you could put this directly on the eye, but I like to go in with my finger, so I'm just going to put some on my finger. And this just gives you more control of where you want to put it. And I'm going to put it from the centre of the eye and inwards. And if you want, you can also put some in the inner corner of the eye as well. And then usually I'll look in the mirror just to check that they sort of line up where I ended the glitter, but you can just sort of, once you've got hardly any glitter on your finger, tap the edges and it sort of blends it in. Mascara is usually down to personal preference on what you want it to do. However, I do like using a waterproof formula because it just helps the lashes stay stuck up. Curling your lashes is a very good step if you want to make sure you've got a curl that's held. And you can get them really cheaply in like Poundland or Dollar Tree, whatever you call it, where you live, and it just helps make the lashes look more lifted. You just place it up over your eye and slowly clamp down and wiggle the clamp slightly because this gives it more curl. Now, I don't have very many eyelashes and you probably can't tell, but that has already given me a good curl ready to put my mascara on. And then for mascara, my favourite is Lash Sensational by Maybelline. I like to look down when I'm putting my mascara on so that I don't get any black on the lid. And if you find this difficult, you can blink while also pulling up the wand. And don't forget the bottom eyelashes, this help makes your eye look more open. Again, just a very light touch. So you could go with a gloss with this look for your lips, but I'm going to go with a matte lip look, and one of my favourite drugstore matte liquid lipsticks is this one by Maybelline. Like, I've used it so much the packaging's worn off, but it's the Super Stay Longwear ones, and I have nearly all the colours. And this is in colour Inspire, and it sort of kind of matches my top of my hair. And these are good because you can use the tip to line your lips first and then fill it in. And they smell so good too. And that's just like a really cute sort of baby pink colour, which I think goes quite nicely. Oh. Or you could go with this colour, which is Romantic, which is also like a darker pink colour as well. That's quite nice. So I don't actually have any drugstore powders to hand. I do have this Bella Pierre one, which is very similar to the one that I would recommend, which is the Stay Matte by Rimmel. Now you can go back in with that big fluffy brush that you used for your contour, your bronzer and blush. However, you will need to make sure that you get all the colour off before you go in with your powder. Now you just need to place this where you want to mattify and take some of the oiliness off. So that's usually the nose, a little bit of the forehead, and I like to do the chin as well. Just anywhere you want to take the shininess away from. And then here you can go ahead and spray your face with your setting spray if you want this to last longer. Although this isn't a necessity, it just helps let the makeup lay on your skin a bit better and last a bit longer. However, just the face powder should do enough without using this. And that's it. That's the very simple Valentine's Day look for beginners. And if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments and I will try and help as much as possible. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.